Hello and welcome back to the channel, How We Move the Decimal. In today's video, I am listing silverware, or stainless steelware. I know we all call it silverware, historically, blah, blah, blah. Really expensive stuff made of silver. This is made of stainless steel. I do have a couple that are silver, and honestly, they look like they've had really, really rough lives. I got a drawer full of silverware in an auction, and I'm just separating them by patterns, and then whatever I had left I threw in a mixed lot. I think the coolest thing out of all of it was I found part of a mess kit. So the silverware from a camping mess kit, I found part of that in there, and it was from the 1960s, and it was a Boy Scout mess kit. And those of you that have watched or listened to my videos, we are a scouting family. My husband, my father-in-law, my kids, uncles all went through scouting. My oldest boy started going through scouting, and by the time my middle girl could start, they did let girls come in and start scouting. She's been all the way through Cub Scouts, and now this is her first year in the troop, and I'm leaving on her first camp out next week, in less than a week. So I'm trying to pre-record all of these to go up while I'm gone. I will be completely and totally without any internet or technology or anything. I am smuggling power banks with me, so I do have a phone. If nothing else, I really like taking pictures with my phone. I don't carry a camera around, so that'll be nice. And honestly, I don't know if I've seen a camera that you can put batteries in. Like, my DSLR is, a rechargeable battery, if I don't have the ability to do that. Apparently there's a mess hall where we have lunches, and I can charge there. I think you can charge in the bathroom too, but I don't know if I want to chill out in the bathroom all day. But we've done this camp before. We've never done it for a week. We did do it as an overnight. The last time I camped at this camp with my daughter, she was still in Cub Scouts, but we all got COVID. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen this time. I'm hoping we don't get camp ick. I'm hoping we don't get overheated. Unfortunately, right now where we live, we are going through a heat wave, and I know a lot of other states are also going through heat waves. It's going to be heat indexes of the lower, so like between 100 and 105 heat indexes the entire week we're at camp, and almost 100% humidity. We have very, very high humidity. We were at a scout meeting on Sunday prepping them for camp, and we had to take a hike, and I was like, could cut through the air. It was so thick with humidity. So my daughter and myself both have a tendency to overheat. I have some medical issues that can mess with me and temperature regulation. So I have to be very careful of that. And just drinking water doesn't work. I have to also have electrolytes. And in a pinch, I can eat salt to kind of make up for that, but my middle child also has the same issue, and we're pretty sure our youngest does too. Son missed it though, so he got lucky. I have to make sure that I'm really cognizant of both myself overheating and my daughter overheating, and that's kind of one of the reasons I volunteered to go to camp. Plus, I'm another female leader, and this is a female troop, but it is a mixed sex camp. So there will be other female troops, but there will be mostly boy troops, and there's around 300 scouts at camp this week with us. And they really need multiple female leaders. I will have to leave one day of camp to go do some paperwork and stuff that we'll talk about later. And I think it's going to be a new video series will come out because of that. So because I'm leaving, there will be another female leader there. There's 2 female leaders for 9 girls, which I mean, I probably would want one more female leader, because those of you that are unfamiliar with the scout system is the buddy system. I cannot be alone with a single scout. This is to, prevent some of the issues they've had in the future or in the past. So I cannot be alone with a scout, and scouts cannot wander alone. They have to have a buddy or a partner. I can be with me as a single leader. I can be with multiple scouts, or I can have multiple leaders and one scout, but there can never be a one-on-one. My daughter will be there, so that might be, okay. But scouts should not be by themselves, and leaders tent alone unless they're a married couple, and then they can tent together. So I'm sure that's way more about scout camping than you need to know. Unfortunately for me, though, there's a lot of downtime. And with Cub Scout camping, you're constantly with your kid. You're always with them. They go to their classes, you go to their classes. With Scout camping, you're there for meals. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then after dinner, you're all together as a large group doing some activity, whatever the activity that it is. But I will have downtime from 9 to noon and then 1 to 5. So I have 7 hours of downtime, but I do not have internet or electricity. I'm like, if I had 7 hours, I could, list these many things, do this many stuff. I don't know. Every time my husband would go with my son to camp, he'd be like, they're all sleeping. Every leader is sitting in a camp chair, sound asleep. And then he'd get bored and he'd start cleaning up around the camp and doing all that stuff. I'm hoping to do some hiking and stuff, but I can pass the swim test, no problem. I'm a swimmer. I don't know if I want to take the time out of the first day and get soaking wet to take the swim test. So there's that. But to get on a canoe or a kayak, you have to take the swim test. So 6 to 1. Do I think I'll be in the pool? Probably not. Do I think I'll want to get on a kayak? Maybe. So I might take the swim test just so I can get on a kayak or a canoe. Not a canoe, though. I hate canoes. I will kayak. I don't like canoes. I don't like maneuvering canoes. I don't like a lot of times you have to have a partner for a canoe. You can single kayak, but I don't know what kayaks they have. I'm very picky with kayaks. I do not like sit-in kayaks. I like sit-on kayaks. Sit-in kind of give me anxiety, which is awesome and great. So that's what I'm going to be doing in a couple days, and I will be gone. I will not be able to list. I will not be able to ship. Obviously, all that stuff. My husband can do that, but with me being home in the summer and not working in the summer, it's just easier for me to ship. And now that we have a 14-year-old, I can be like, peace out, buddy. I got to run to the post office. Also, as a reminder, as I'm talking about that, remember, clock that mileage when you go to the post office. That is a tax thing. So you're driving that for work. Clock the mileage. See, what else do I want to talk about? It's June and we still haven't listed that much. I've listed 5 items and my husband has listed 6 items, and it is June 18th. So we need to list more, but my husband listed 6 items last night. We sold 2 items today, and we're having a bidding war already on something that hasn't even been up 24 hours. This is also my, hey, if you when in doubt, put it on auction. We have a auction of a toy that we had no idea how much it was worth. We could not find it. We found someone had posted it on Google. We found it on Google. Their price was ridiculous. And there's no way someone's going to pay this for this price. We found similar ones on eBay, but not the same. Not the same pattern on it. So we were thinking maybe the pattern was more valuable that we had because we couldn't find that pattern except for on just using a general Google search, not through eBay or Terapeak or WorthPoint. And my husband's like, so, we saw what the other styles were selling for, and they're like, so what we should start this auction at? And we're like, we'll start it at $49.99. It has not even been 24 hours and it's up to $177. It has an entire week left. Most of us know with auctions, we don't get the best, most traffic until the day of. So the day it's going to end, we'll get the most traffic. If it's already at 177 within the first 24 hours, that's slightly terrifying. But that is giving traffic to our store. I do think it might be advantageous advantageous to run auctions periodically so you have that constant traffic to your store. So eBay is like, hey, their store's popular, people are going to it. However, you need to have desirable objects to put for auction, where we don't. Yes, we've had 2 auctions very recently. Normally I don't have auctions as listings because I don't have desirable items. That being said, I might lot a bunch of our items together and auction them just to get rid of it. And I know that's like what a lot of people do with Whatnot, but honestly, I don't have any followers to find my Whatnot, so I would have to hope and pray that people find me. I don't think it'd be worth my time to create a Whatnot and do the live auction stuff. I think it's easier for me to like set it and forget it with eBay. And we have come to the conclusion we were having a rummage sale at the end of summer. We tend to do it the weekend before Labor Day weekend, and which is fine because I will be gone Labor Day weekend and will not be able to have a rummage sale. This whole video I'm still listing silverware. Silverware is not my bag. I'm not used to it. Did you know Oneida was a cult? Look that up. But not my thing. Would I buy it again? It depends how much it costs. I bought this whole drawer for $2. If I saw a box for like $1 or $2 or something, I would probably pick that up. But I'm not going to pay $5, $10 for it. It's just not my cost of goods. That's just too much for me. It's such a low bar, but it is too much. The thrift store I go to once a month because they only flip their stuff once a month. And that first day after the flip is absolutely insane. People wait outside in line. But I go there and I just went mid-month because I wasn't really looking for stuff to sell. I needed some stuff for camp to wear because you don't want to wear nice stuff to camp. Apparently last year raccoons stole people's clothing off the clothing line. So you don't want to wear anything that, you'll be super sad if it is destroyed or apparently stolen by raccoons. So I was there looking for camp stuff, and I like to go through the hard goods. Obviously, we've been listing a lot of hard goods lately, but I did go through the clothes because that's what I was mainly looking for. But I went through the hard goods, and they were trying to sell a silverware set for $699. I looked it up on eBay. There is one listed for over $1,000. None of the solds are over $200. So I know that they probably looked on eBay and be like, oh man, someone's selling this for over $1,000. $699 is a steal. It is not. There's one listed for $1,000. There's more listed between $200 and $300. And all of the ones that sold had like $299, but they had offer accepted. So I think this thrift store was doing themselves a disservice by looking at eBay and going, hey, it's selling for this much. And honestly, lately, if I see thrift stores with like the eBay printouts on there, I don't even look at it. I'll just walk away. Another cool thing that the thrift store did have was Avon perfume bottles. You know how they do like the cars and all this stuff. They had like shaped themed perfume bottles, vintage perfume bottles. The one thing that they did have there was a full chest set. So Avon released them single piece at a time. Each of them had cologne or aftershave in them. I forget which one it was. But the bottoms are silver on one set and the tops are silver on the other, so you know whose pieces are whose. They had the full complete chest set still in box, and my 2 older children super into chess, and I thought it'd be cool to have the chess set. It does sell for decent on eBay, so around $100, but the thrift store wanted $89 for it. I'm like, ooh, yes, if you're buying it for yourself, that's fine. But I feel like this thrift store is really starting to alienate resellers. And I know I'm going to get pushback. Thrift stores aren't for resellers, blah, blah, blah. They have a sewing machine there that it's an old Singer sewing machine. I would say the 1970s. I would have to bring my mom there to look and tell me because she was very into sewing in the 70s. But I want to say it's a 1970s Singer sewing machine. They still have $80 on it. It has been there for almost 2 years because they are refusing to drop the price because at some point somebody at some time sold it on eBay for $100. So like, hey, you know, $80 on this is great. If they would drop that down to 40 or 50, I bet it would sell. But that also is when I'm thrifting, and I'm sure everybody else does this too because we are resellers. When I'm thrifting, I'm like side-eyeing everybody, like, are they buying for themselves? Are they buying to resell? All this stuff. This past time, I did not buy anything to resell. I just bought for personal use for myself or someone in my family. And so I'm just leisurely wandering through, not really, you know, I'm taking my time, looking at everything, touching everything. I've got no like manic energy for this. And I'm watching several people just go through and flip through clothing racks so fast or scanning books and stuff. And I'm like, wow, I think everybody in here is a reseller. I considered myself a reseller, even though I was buying for my own personal use. My husband likes to go to our Salvation Army. I don't go to it because it's farther away from me. It's closer to his work, but it's farther away for me from our house and from my work when I am in session. So I don't tend to go there. He tends to go there. He's had great luck there. I have not had any luck with women's clothing there. It's just, it's way more worn down than I like. I don't want to pay that much. So I'm going to end it here. I hope you guys were productive. I did list several silverware items. None of them have sold, by the way. And I wish you a very productive day.